Hello, my name is Nick Sedone with Nick's Dryer Van Cleaning in Oceanside, California, over here in close to San Diego. My story started in '07. In January of '07, my boss told me that was no longer going to get a raise. I had reached the top of the pay scale. Around all those months leading up to June, I'd considered quitting the job and moving on and maybe trying to do something on my own. I didn't know what, um, but I threw it out to my wife around April, that I might, summer's coming up, that I might want to just hang out with my son and do something. I don't think I never thought that she'd go for it. She goes, okay, well, we have some savings, so why don't you go ahead and do that? And she thought I wanted to get just another job. I never really quite told her that I wanted to actually start a business. So I actually quit in June 1st. Around August, my wife told me that our dryer was not working correctly, that it was taking longer to dry. I went online, figured out. At first, I thought, just like everybody else, that it was the dryer, but that in fact that it wasn't the dryer; it was the vent. It had a lot of lint inside of it. So I found out the tools to clean it with. I did find a tool at one of the hardware stores around here. It wasn't the best tool for it, but since it was a short run, I was able to do it. And after that, our dryer worked fine, and I saw that my wife was pretty happy. Hey, our dryer's drying again, and now I don't have to waste time. So once I saw that, and I saw her reaction, and I go, wow, that's pretty cool. I think I could do this. I thought to myself, I didn't really tell nobody. I kind of went online and actually looked for the correct tools to actually clean vents like this, and I went ahead and bought them. I still hadn't told my wife. I just went ahead and bought them and started cleaning, my neighbors, friends, family members. I just kind of learned how to do it. Well, I finally told my wife, you know what, I think I could do this. It took me a little bit to convince her because she thought I was going to get another job, not start a business. So, but I finally did convince her. She goes, you know what, I'm still going to be home. I could pick up my son and take him to school, pick him up. So I think that was the convincing point. So I started the business in November the 1st of '07. Thinking I knew a lot, but in reality, I didn't know a lot. Um, when I started, I needed to find what to charge. So I kind of went to a couple of companies and I asked them how much they charged and what was the process that they used, and I got very different feedback from different companies. The least expensive was $69 to the highest was about $225. And they all varied on what kind of service they provided and what they cleaned or what they didn't clean, and or what they should clean. So around that time, which was around the beginning of January, um, um, I found this uh, landing page with Dan and direct response marketing, which obviously I'd never heard of. And I went ahead and opted in, got his reports. While I was going through it, one thing of everything that I read stuck with me, which was the price. You always want to be the highest, or at least at the top of the pay scale of what you do. And obviously, at first, I'd never been in business before. Uh, I ended up with charging $150. And I did the mistake of telling a couple of people what I was going to charge, and he goes, no, that's too much money, blah blah blah. But Dan's voice just kept saying you have to be one of the highest, one of the highest. So I figured 150 is a good point, because if I do two jobs, that's $300 a day, and in 2 hours, because it takes about an hour. So it was $150 up to 20 feet of exhaust, and 30 feet it was 175. On the 175 part, I never thought I could actually get it. But once I got to the people's homes and they explained the benefits, and I got them away from the actual price, they were very happy to pay it, because after I cleaned their vents and their dryer was heating and drying, they were the happiest people. And once I started seeing that, I started getting the confidence in myself that, wow, I really could do this, and I am making a difference. Also, dryer recleaning is the leading cause of fires in our country. So once I realized that and found that out, and start telling that to people, it just wasn't a job anymore. It was something that I'm helping people prevent in their homes. Because dryer and clean can save your home from a fire, a potential fire. So I every home that I went, I told the benefits, and then I told the price. Some people were looking for price, some people can't afford it, but my customer is a person who wants um, results, or they want their problem fixed, and that's what I learned from Dan. You're a problem solver. You're solving their problem. Those are your customers, and every day, that's what has driven me to keep the price and to solve people's problems. The first year of business was obviously '08. Was very slow because obviously I was starting. I finally did get a website around um, the second half of '08. That brought in some business. 10, we actually tripled our customers, and we had more income. '09 was even better. We doubled again. Still working, not a lot, but still double customers, more income. 10 was by far my best year. I surpassed my income that I had earned in my job. And towards the end of '10, I decided that I was going to raise my prices. Didn't tell nobody. I went ahead and raised it 25%. And going into '11, I prepared myself mentally and just saying the benefits, maybe adding a couple more stuff to the service, just to make it more appealing. Created a couple packages of from medium, from low, medium to high, which now our highest is $249, which includes the cleaning of the vent, a metal hose, and a dryer vent alarm. And that's our premium package, which is it's $249. And even to my workers' surprise, they're even amazed that we're charging $249 for our service. But what I always remembered from Dan was the price. The price drives you. I know for a fact that if it wasn't for that day that I found him and reading his report, and that price has stuck with me all this time. If it wasn't for that, I would be at a job right now somewhere, and not in business still 4 years later. Um, I have 2 part-time workers, and I'm still the worker. But hopefully this year, in '12, that's going to change. Of hiring the part-time workers that I have to full-time, and me not working on the field anymore. And I know that would not have been possible if it wasn't for Dan. Also, another thing that I want to thank Dan for is starting the group here in San Diego with Henry Evans. I joined about a year and a half ago, which is one of the best things that I ever did. First of all, just even meeting Henry, he's an awesome guy. The people in the group have a lot of energy every time we meet once a month. Um, so I have a lot to thank to Dan. I've learned a lot from him, but that price for me was something that I will never forget, because if it wasn't for that, like I said earlier, I would have a job. I still take my son to school. I still pick him up. I still take him to the doctor. I still do a lot of the stuff that before I had trouble doing, because my wife works about an hour away from here. I work a lot less. I enjoy life more. To me, there is no recession. I've created my own economy, and it's all thanks to Dan and his teachings and what he has brought, his monthly newsletter to his CDs. And in fact, I just got the one on price, and I think I've listened to it already like 5 or 6 times, just to reiterate. The price point is nothing. You have to raise your prices. As long as you keep getting good customer service and creating value for customers. Well, that is my story. Hope you like it. Again, my name is Nick Sidon from Oceanside, California, and I want to say thank you to Dan and Bill, and God bless you guys. Bye-bye.